Gillespie from the out of bounds to the freshman Queen, who's driving, floats it. Oh! Maryland on the right side of a...
Maryland indeed. What's good, everybody? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. And got to give a shout out to our boy right there, Matty Boy. Maryland. Got him. Nailed him. Absolutely well done. Not only were we happy for you, my man, and all the Terrapins out there, and tough luck on the other side, but you know what? We're also happy because we got a ticket cash thanks to that one. NCAA tournament, over half a buzzer beater at plus 100. Nailed that one. Well done, crew. We did that one together. Now, here's how we did on Sunday. Absolutely a great day. All right. Got the buzzer beater. Ended up going, what is that, 5-2. South Carolina, Arkansas baseball. Got that over 13. Coastal Carolina, Troy over 12.5. Got that one. Alabama basketball minus 5.5. Got that one. Florida money line. Duke money line. Alabama money line. That one. Illinois could not hit free throws. Kentucky advances. And then Wake Forest, Clemson, dude, over 13.5. It ends up at 13. Quite frankly, I was surprised that was the over that did not hit. I was worried about some other ones, not that one. I think there were 7 runs in the second inning. Crazy, man. But college baseball is absolutely nuts. Now, speaking of that, we talk about winning the weekend, and that's our goal every weekend, okay? College baseball is a tough sport. It can really break a lot of bettors down, man. It's frustrating. I get it. That's why you want to focus not only every day, however, all right, the key to success in betting this sport is by weekends, all right? We win another weekend. We go 8-5. After starting Friday 1-4, by the way, right? And I say that as, look, all of us, we stood strong and said, all right, we've lost a Friday before. No big deal. Saturday 5-0, Sunday 2-1. So we finished 8-5. We'll absolutely take that, another winning weekend. What else is winning is joining the Discord. Scan that QR code. All right, March Madness, it continues starting this Thursday and everything else. So join that one, man, and let's have a ton of fun. Okay, now, got a lot going on, all right? A lot to break down over the weekend, a lot to talk about. But you know what? While every other sports betting show says, well, I'm going to jam the picks at the end of the show, all right, to force you to watch the entire thing, that means your content sucks, all right? We're going to give you the pick straight up front because we're confident in it. Let's let it rip. Okay. All right. So here is what we are going to do. Okay. It's Monday in the NBA, and the NBA is really all that we kind of have. I know we have NHL, and there's some MLB spring training, and there's also NIT and CBI. I'm going to be honest with you. The NIT and CBI, not an expert in it. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in it and lie to you. That's the last thing I'd ever do. So anybody in the chat, live, anybody watching afterward, drop your thoughts, picks, predictions, anything that you have, put it in there because, again, it's all of us together. All right. So drop those in. Would love to see it. Also, the Discord. That's exactly why it's there. So, yeah, as Zach Phelps says, man, our man Zach, NIT, CBI, to hold us over until Thursday. Absolutely. So we're all depending on each other for this one because I'm telling you, the last thing I'm going to do is come lie to you and start ripping off NIT picks. You're like, has this dude even watched any of these teams? Hell no, man. Like, I mean, some of them, but we're not ever going to be that show. Not ever, ever, ever going to be that show. What we are going to do, all right, is break down 4 picks that I want to jump on right now. So for tonight, okay, LeBron James over 2.5 threes at plus 180. Yes, I understand. Came back from injury. Lakers didn't look good. All kind of things going on. What LeBron James will do to get himself, especially on the road, is fire threes. You're going to get a ton of opportunities tonight, and the books are giving you a gift here at over 2.5 threes. Really, the big question is, does LeBron play in the game? All right. If he does, you're going to get his minutes, right? He's not going to play. He's not going to start and then just completely sit. LeBron doesn't do that. Either doesn't play or you're getting the full LeBron, and he's going to give you 3-point opportunities tonight. We're also going to take Josh Giddey for 1.5 threes at minus 110. Now, college basketball, all right? And I'll pull myself here on screen. Let me make the picks a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. So We're going to go ahead and jump on these for the Sweet 16, which begins Thursday. Okay. So, kind of how it works. Well, not kind of how it works is that you've got the Sweet 16 on Thursday. You get the Sweet 16 on Friday. All right. You got the Elite Eight on Saturday and the Elite Eight on Sunday. So, all right. 4 games on Thursday, 4 games on Friday, 2 and 2 on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to go ahead and jump on these now. We're going to take Florida money line, Houston money line, and Duke money line. Those 3 to just money line wins. Just win the game in advance to the Elite Eight at plus 105. All right, now we're going to take Kentucky plus 4.5 against Tennessee. Okay, I didn't say we're taking Kentucky to win the game. I said we're taking Kentucky plus 4.5, and I will explain to you why. I don't care who is going to be who would have been the underdog in this game, whether Kentucky, whether Tennessee. I would have taken the plus 4.5 either side. It's going to be a tight game. And a huge shout out here. One of my boys from way back, Mickle Tonneson himself, big Gators fan. Huge, huge win. We're going to talk about more of Florida and that win here in just a minute. But big shout out to my man Mick there. All right. Kentucky and Tennessee have played, I think, 282 times in basketball. Literally. And never faced each other in the tournament. Kentucky's beaten Tennessee twice this season. And quite frankly, not close games either. All right. But we've got time in between this game. Both coaches are going to scheme up some stuff. There's 2 excellent basketball coaches in Mark Pope and Rick Barnes. What I'm saying is this. It's going to be a tight game. Either way. I'm going to go ahead and take Kentucky plus 4.5. I don't know how long this number lasts. It might last all week. It might be gone by this afternoon. I don't know. But I would believe that it probably evens out a little bit more. Kentucky plus 3.5, Kentucky plus 3, something like that. I would assume that that's the way that it goes, right? But, again, I'm not saying Kentucky wins a game. Rust me on that one either. My man Chicago Pat says, I'll take the over. Yeah. You know what? It's funny, Patrick, you lovely son of a gun. It's funny that you bring that up. Let's go ahead and get into the analytics here. Because, Patrick, you think just like I do. All right. You're a very intelligent young man. All right. So far in the tournament, okay, favorites against the spread, 26 and 22. All right. Bettors that have been just playing favorites. Nice job. It's been working out. All right. You're 4 units up. However, people that have been playing the overs, not been as kind. All right. You are 8 units down. Okay. 20 and 28. In regards to overs. Big shout out to our man, Robert Bibbo. 5 DTL memberships. Robert, you are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, and thank you. Mills says, Kentucky did beat Tennessee both times this year. They did. And look at the scores. Wasn't close. Now, again, not saying that it plays out exactly like that. Rick Barnes is excellent with time. But Mark Pope's a hell of a coach at Kentucky, too. I think it's just going to be a tight – I mean, it's an SEC game. It's a rivalry game. I'm here in Nashville. The Kentucky State line, from where I sit right now, is about 29 minutes away. All right? So, I mean, these 2 fan bases have known each other for generations, okay? It's going to be rowdy as hell. And I think we're going to get a tight game. So, I'm going to take a shot that plus 4.5 is the largest underdog spread that we have, and I'm going to ride it, man. Absolutely. Okay, so like I said, tournament favorites against the spread, 26 and 22. Overs, 20 and 28. Now, on the right side, okay, here are your Sweet 16 teams, okay? All 16 of them, okay? And beside the numbers here, their ATS win-loss in the tournament and totals over and under in the tournament. So, Auburn and Michigan, okay? Auburn 1-1. Gets the spread, 1-1 to the over. All right, Michigan 2-0 gets the spread. You get the point. I'm not going to sit here and read all of them to you, but that's where you see it. Now, again, that only tells a little bit of the story, right? Because every opponent's different, man. I mean, look at Florida. 0-2 against the spread, 2-0 to the over, right? All right. Arkansas 2-0 against the spread. You know why? Because they've been ripping upsets. All right. So you see it there, man. Same thing Ole Miss wise, right? So anyway, so that is where we sit. I'll drop all of these graphics into the Discord as we do every morning right after the show so that you have them. But just wanted everybody to get a snapshot here, all right, of what these teams look like, okay, and where they are betting wise so far through 2 games in the tournament. Now, let's go ahead and jump into it. So Thursday, the Sweet 16. Here are our 4 games. All right. Starting off, and the times that you see. All right. So BYU, Alabama. You see 6:09. That is Central. All right. So 7:09 p.m. Eastern, 6:09 p.m. Central. All right. Starts at Thursday. BYU and Alabama. Alabama 4.5-point favorite. A total of 174.5. All right. How have these teams been? Alabama 1-1 against the spread, 1-1 to the over. BYU 2-0 to the spread because they've been winning outright, and 2-0 to the over. Total 174.5. Big number there. All right. Next one, Maryland at Florida. 4-seed Maryland, 1-seed Florida. Florida 6.5-point favorite. We see a total of 154.5. Quite frankly, I thought it would be larger than that, but again, 20 and 28 to the over throughout the entire NCAA tournament. Points have been difficult in some games. All right. Arizona and Duke. Duke, a 9.5-point favorite. A total of 153.5. And then finally, Thursday, Arkansas and Texas Tech. Texas Tech, a 5.5-point favorite, and a total of 146.5. So you've kind of seen again. This is just Thursday. We'll get into Friday in just one second, but I wanted to put this out there first and drop them in the chat. All right. Let me know what you think. Which spreads, which totals, which money lines as parlay pieces stand out to you the most? And again, I go back to the picks that I had: Florida, Houston, Duke. Those 3 teams, put those together, plus 105. Those are the ones that stuck out to me. And this is Thursday. So drop those in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let me say this. Florida and Maryland, both with massive comeback, final second type games, right? In regards to the win, I mean, obviously Maryland won on literally the last millisecond there, and Florida won in somewhat similar fashion. Teams that do that, especially on the going home game, the travel game, right, going back, they usually come out on fire in their next one. It's fascinating that these two play against each other. So keep an eye. And you're not going to get me today, Internet. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. All right. We're firing through it. You're not getting us. Ain't happened, baby. All right. Too strong. All right. Anyway. So, all right. That was Thursday. Okay. You can all see me now, right? Y'all got me now? Yeah. They're not getting us, baby. Ain't happening. If you can see me, hear me, press 1 in the chat. Yeah. We're not taking a backward step to nobody. Z Money, that's exactly right. Ain't doing it. Hoss ain't doing it one bit. All right. Somebody hit 1 for me just to the chat so that we know. All right. So we've got, there we go. Perfect. Thank you, boys. All right. So Friday here. All right. We've got Ole Miss taking on Michigan State. Michigan State, a 3.5-point favorite. All right. Total of 143.5. All right. You've got nice money line prices here both ways in regards to how you want to go in parlay pieces, right? Michigan State, if you believe that they win the game, minus 160, very solid. All right. If you believe Ole Miss is going to cover and you want to use that in a parlay plus 3.5, solid. You've got great options here. So keep an eye on that one. Would love your thoughts in general to that game. Now, again, like we said, Kentucky, Tennessee. Tennessee, a 4.5-point favorite. Kentucky, a 3-seed. Tennessee, a 2-seed. We got a total of 146.5. Again, money line prices here. All right, there you go. You see it. Plus 170 for Kentucky, minus 210 for Tennessee. Again, if you're looking at, just playing these games in general, you've got options. If you're looking at parlay pieces, you want to run a little, 2-leg parlay, Kentucky plus 4.5, or if you believe Tennessee, wins the game, you got Tennessee on a very attractive money line price at minus 210 in regards to pairing in a parlay, right? So that's another game. You've got options. 5 seed Michigan taking on 1 seed Auburn. Auburn 8.5-point favorite, total of 152.5. Again, these aren't terrible. I mean, for a 1 seed, if you're, using Auburn minus 375 in a parlay, I've seen worse. You know what I mean? It's definitely playable with the right piece dance partner beside it, or Michigan plus 8.5. There you go, man. And then finally, Purdue in Houston. Purdue, the 4 seed. Houston, the 1 seed. Houston, a 7.5-point favorite. A total of 132.5. You see the Houston minus 375 again. I'm not saying it's great, but in regards to a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, I mean, again, I've seen worse, right? So drop your picks in the chat of what you see right now. I mean, again, it is not something that we're going to go crazy on our bets right now, but quite frankly, I mean, when you hear bettors talk about EV, all right, and you talk about value and things like that, this is where you find it, right? Projecting where the line's going to go, projecting where the total, however you want to look at it, right? Keep an eye on those. All right, sorry, I had to take a little drink there. All right, so those are our opening game spreads, lines, totals for the Sweet 16. And again, let me say, I think, don't get me wrong, the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament, in terms of quantity of games, is one of the best things in sports. It's awesome. But if you ask me, this weekend is my favorite of the NCAA tournament. All right, because you get 4 games on Thursday, 4 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, and 2 games on Sunday. And they're all awesome, right? Like, it absolutely delivers, man. It just delivers. And you see the spreads there. I don't think we had a single one that was in double digits, did we? 4.5, 6.5, 9.5, 6.5, or 5.5, 3.5, 4.5, 8.5. Yep, not a single spread in double digits, man. Like it the same thing that I say about in the NFL playoffs. The divisional round is my favorite of the NFL playoffs because you get a good amount of games and they're always delivered, man. Like wild card weekend, it can be wild. It can be all over the place. However, these are my Madden Boy says, I appreciate you been on this, but you're wrong. 48-16. I mean, look, we're not downplaying with the opening weekend. I mean, it's awesome. Like I absolutely had a damn blast through the entire thing. But yeah, man, it's solid, man. Big Tim says, I like big dogs eating Houston 8.5, Duke 9.5, Auburn 7.5. Like the grit. Arkansas solid, man. John Calipari is showing it, dude. That dude's all over. Big Zach says he's on Houston minus 3.5, Michigan, Auburn under 159.5, parlayed together. That is plus a 103. There we go. A 10:09 p.m. tip local time for Houston to Purdue. What do we do? Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like some of those games go late. Like obviously. Yeah, dude, for sure. Our boy Manzi says Michigan State Auburn moneyline parlay plus 109. All right, I like it. Keep dropping them in. What you guys got, man? I love seeing it. Now, I'm gonna say this, and for any UConn fans here in the chat, I'm gonna be easy on them, but we gotta talk about it. Danny Hurley. All right. And I didn't put the video on here because YouTube would start flagging the cursing. All right. I hope Danny Hurley screamed this after he was walking off the court after the loss to Florida. I hope they don't you like they us, Baylor. I really hope they don't. All right. Danny Hurley said to Baylor walking on the floor after a slugfest loss to top seed Florida. Yeah, talking about a fishing indeed. Let me just go ahead and say this, man. Number one, the more I see of Danny Hurley, the less I want to see of Danny Hurley. It's getting old. And to be honest with you, dude, like from the opening second, Danny Hurley was going insane on the ref. Like, you think Nick Saban is brutal with it? Dude, Hurley was going wild. It was too much. And look, I'm not going to get into, like, look, there have been a lot of fouls in this NCAA tournament, a lot of fouls across all the games. But Hurley, dude, it's becoming too much. And let me tell you this, man. And you could go ahead and call up Mark Mangino at Kansas. I don't care how much winning you do. Like, it gets annoying dealing with this daily. And you know that people are. Like, you could win back-to-back NCAA tournaments as your man has. And, dude, those only go so far. Like, you cannot win a tournament every year, right? And that's what it's going to take for people to put up with this and people to deal with it, man. And I say that as somebody who has myself dealt with being, a bit overbearing at points in my life. And it's something that I had to work at. People don't like it, man. And people don't deserve to be around it. And it gets old. And it wears on people. And it doesn't matter, man, how good that you are, because you can never live up to how much it wears on other people. You'll never win that much. You're not going to win a tournament every year. And again, look, man, Danny Hurley is one of the best coaches in the game. But I'm not even going to stand on a soapbox of like, oh, he cursed in front of you. Like, dude, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to say, man, it's getting old. It's getting thin. All right. And every single time it appears, all right, that Hurley, it's always someone else's fault, right? It's always someone else. Forget the fact that Todd Golden and the Florida Gators, when they absolutely needed it, stood up, and the Gators were getting nothing. They weren't hitting any free throws. The ball rebounds were never going their way. And I'm not saying that is anybody's issue, right? UConn didn't, put a token in and get that, right? But Florida was dealing with a lot of things not going their way, and they stood up and just took over the game. They did. Florida took that game away from you and said, we're better than you. We're going to win this game. They took it, drilled threes when they needed to, got the turnovers, hit their free throws, and got the hell out of there, right? So I'm not taking anything away from any of it. Look, Z-Money, I agree with this. Like, UConn got a ton of calls in that game, and I'm not that person that's going to, hey, these people were getting, forget it. Like, it's sports. We've all dealt with it. In any sport, we've all dealt with it. However, dude, Hurley, like, relax, man. And here's the worst part about it is that I wanted to come on today and absolutely praise Hurley and UConn for what they did the last month of the year, right? It's tough. It's more difficult to have continued success, all right, than to come from nowhere and have some success, right? Like, was fully willing this full season to give UConn space and say, look, man, it's hard, dude. I get it, especially in an NIL, transfer portal, college sports. It's hard. I get it. Ain't even going to mess with you, right? And they turned it up the last month, and Hurley was coaching his ass off. Players were playing their asses off. But, dude, it's too much, man. And I'm telling you, and look, not that Danny Hurley needs any advice from me on a damn thing, but bro, it wears on people, man. It wears on people, and you'll find yourself in lower and lower rungs. And if you're not meeting the amount of headache that you are, right, with the success that people want. And at that point, I mean, it's championships, right? Because I know he's wearing on other people. Buddy, I don't care how good you are. You'll never live up to that one. So anyways, we'll see, man. But I think that it would be a good, off season for Hurley to just take a step back, dude. You've done a lot of good. Like, you've done a lot of good, man. You'll be all right, dude. Just Take a step back, man. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Big Aaron Bailey, what up, dog? What's up, man? What's up? And again, I don't want to hammer on the guy. I don't want to be that show because you're going to see it all over today. Danny Hurley should be fired. Like, dude, I'm never the one saying that people should lose jobs. Like, dude, that's not me. That's not what this brand is going to be at all, right? But I'm telling you from personal experience, man, of wearing on people, dude, it doesn't matter how good you are. Like, people always remember how you make them feel, and that'll never go away. And it's tough. Like, that's a tough one to beat, bro. Tough one to beat. All right, let's get our picks and then get our stat of the day and let you get back to work. We will be live today at 3 p.m. Eastern with way more NBA picks. Mondays are really tough. You just don't have. I'm telling you, it's not happening. You're not beating this. All right, internet, it's not beating this. All right. Aaron Bailey says, "Hey, you going to the Tennessee-Kentucky game? My son and I are going to." No, but I wish. It's going to be fantastic. I hope you guys have an absolute blast. All right, internet, you're not taking us down today. All right, let's get our bets up. And apologies for everybody dealing with that. I assure you, it is going to be fixed here very, very, very soon. Yeah, look, Zach said Hurley coming for that connection. Well played. That was well played. That's funny. And it makes me think of that commercial of what was that school? Of Education Connection. Oh, that's a dude. I just dated myself on that one. All right. So let's get our picks up here on the screen for anybody who is even still with us. Seeing as how I'm timing out every 7 seconds. LeBron James over 2.5 threes plus 180. Josh Giddey over 1.5 threes minus 110. Florida money line, Houston money line, Duke money line plus 105. And then Kentucky plus 4.5. Obviously, the bottom two picks are for the NCAA tournament coming up Thursday and Friday. LeBron James, Josh Giddey, those are picks for tonight. Okay, now let's go ahead and get our stat of the day and get out of here before we got to bounce on. All right, we're not going to punch the internet. We can't do that, but we might give them a little two-piece. All right, Los Angeles Lakers. They have covered the first quarter spread in 24 of their last 30 games. Now, I understand, right? Injuries out in LeBron, Luka. Yep, there you go. But I think the Lakers are going to come out on fire tonight. I think LeBron is going to have a little fire on his ass, right? So, yeah, Lakers cover first quarter spread, 24 of their last 30 games. Okay, we're not going to test the world or the internet anymore. Everybody have a wonderful day. Like I said, we'll be live 3 p.m. Eastern to break down everything betting-wise for tonight. Ton more NBA and all of that. Cannot thank you all enough. Please hit the like button if you can. I hear that it helps against fight the internet. All right, we're going to stop punching the air here. Everybody, much love, much love. All right, we'll be live 3 p.m. Eastern tonight. Until then, everybody, best of luck. Cash these tickets. We'll see you this afternoon. Thanks. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.